Today we have the Dragon Cup Rally event going on with Witch of the Wind, and I have a few teams that I can show you so you can get yourself the maximum rewards and get yourself the much needed books. Welcome everybody, welcome. If you don't know me, my name is BearCozy. I strive to make not only entertaining but also educational videos. I like to have a good time, I like to make fun of myself, and I like to show progress. Sometimes we have good success rates, sometimes we have failures, but at any rate, I like to show my progress because I know a lot of you enjoy watching my progression, myself included. Today, we actually have the Dragon Cup Rally, which is on the right-hand side, and we have the Witch of the Wind event going on right now, as well as the Arena Rally event. But what I want to talk about in this video is Witch of the Wind. I want to give you two teams. I actually have three teams that I want to talk about, so you can get yourself all of the rewards. Now, you can get yourself on the basic reward side without the paywall. You can max out and get yourself the Epic Book of Masters, and then if you're feeling like you want to spend a little bit of money, you can also go ahead and grab yourself the Legendary Book. I am not a big fan of the system. As a matter of fact, I don't think anybody likes this system, myself included. I really hate the paywall, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. Let's jump into Witch of the Wind. Now, I've been experimenting with some comps, and I have a couple of comps for you. Right now, we have Witch of the Wind event going on, and it is a 2x rate event, which means we save time and get double of the rewards, which is really, really good. I have a couple of teams that I want to talk about. Now, the first team, if we go ahead and jump into this, the first team is, if we look under squads, as you can see, I've actually been using this team. I've been experimenting with Halia. She's really, really good. She's a recent build for me, and I really like her. So, couple of teams you can use. The first team you can use is this. You can use Blackhorn, you can use William, you can use Santos and Nathalia. Now, you don't have to use William. If you have Gangelo, you can use Gangelo. This will work really, really well. However, this team is a little squishy, and this works really well for me in Witch of the Wind 12. And then, of course, if you don't have Gangelo, here is another option. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. Let me put up all of their stats on the screen in front of you so you can see what everybody's rocking. And then we're going to jump into... So here we go. While they're doing the waves, let me talk a little bit about this team. Now, this is Witch 12. And this team is a little bit squishy for Hell Stage 1, but it works really well for Witch 10, 11, 12. So if you are somewhere in that range, this is a team that you can use, and it'll work out really well. Now, Nathalia, I have, she's got pretty good stats. They're not the best. I've seen much better, but they are pretty good, and it works really well. And speaking of Nathalia, you don't need Nathalia in this comp. You can use... Valeria will work really, really well. If you have Valeria, you can use any nuker that you have, and they should work. Nathalia is really good because she targets everybody, but I know some people got lucky with Valeria and built her out. I haven't tried Evira. I don't know if Evira would work. I would imagine she would, but the key to this comp, and by the way, you can use Gangelo, as I've mentioned, instead of William. William's just there for the extra counter attack, right? The extra attack. And if you don't have William, you can use either William and no Blackhorn, or you can use Blackhorn and no William and Gangelo. There are lots of options for this team. I'm going to show you some more options going forward into Hell Stage 1. But as I mentioned, a lot of this is mix and match, because what I wanted to do was, a lot of times I'm seeing people say in my comments on my videos, I don't have X champion, I don't have Gangelo, or I don't have Nathalia, or my Nathalia is not built. You don't need Nathalia. This is not a Nathalia only comp. Bring any damage dealer, bring your best damage dealer, I should say it like that. Bring your best damage dealer, that would work. But the key to Witch of the Wind is your heroes need to be fast enough, because if they are slow, she will actually put this debuff on your team. I'm looking at the wrong side. She will actually bleed your heroes at the end of the turn, deals damage based on the caster's attack, and that will actually scale with her speed. So if your heroes are not fast enough, attacks inflict bleeding damage against targets with relatively lower speed. And this is where Halia works really, really good, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Let's go ahead and finish this. This is not a speed run. It's probably about a minute and a half or so. Not too bad. This one's a little bit slower, but I'm actually finding the use of Halia runs much quicker in Hell Stage 1 than we run with this team in Stage 12. So there we go. Even if you can only run Stage 10 or 11 or 12, you can still work on the Dragon Cup, and you can still max out the Dragon Cup rewards and get yourself the book, at least one book. All right, jumping into Hell Stage 1, let's take a look at this. Now, this team will work. They are a little bit squishy, but it will work. So, you can also use Flarence with William and Marion Shadowblood. I know some people have Marion Shadowblood. She works really, really good. She does some true damage as well. The other option is you can also, this is kind of, a lot of this is mix and match. You can use Flarence, Marion Shadowblood, a nuker of your choice, and Gangelo or Santis, or Flarence, Marion Shadowblood, Gangelo, and Santis. There are lots of different options. What I want to show you is I want to show you this comp with Halia specifically, because this is working out the best in my opinion. Now, while I'm talking, let me put up all of their stats on the screen so I don't forget. And the first thing I want you to notice is Halia is the fastest in the group. By the way, Halia is missing lots of glyphs. I'll show you her glyphs. She is missing all of her glyphs. And the second thing I want you to notice is Marion Shadowblood does not have 100% crit rate, but she is in an assassin set. That's something that I threw on her really, really quickly. I wanted to see if this works, and it actually does not seem to help against the bosses. But what makes Halia really, really good here is, if we go ahead and look at her kit, take this off of auto, Halia has this buff. Damage dealt scales with the speed difference between the caster and the target. So the faster our heroes are, the better, the more damage we do. And then she also puts up a speed buff, plus 30 speed, which is permanent, maximum 3 stacks. So you could potentially gain plus 90 speed if the fight goes long enough. And then she will also put a speed down on the enemy. So this works out really, really well. Flarence, of course, does the increased damage taken with some joint attacks. There's some counter attacks. And then your nuker will nuke them all away. And you don't need Nathalia. But since Nathalia is my most geared hero, she's my best hero right now, I'm using her. Because why not? That's what I've been working towards. So clearing the first 2 waves. This is Witch of the Wind Hell Stage 1. Anything over this just takes a very long time, but we are going to move into stage 2 and 3 in other videos. And right here, I just go right for the boss. And as you can see, Marion Shadowblood does some true damage, which is really nice. Right there, you can see a pop for 7,500, which is really good. Flarence does her buffs as well. And then there goes Halia right there with her ultimate. She does really good. She puts a speed up buff 2 on everybody, making our heroes much quicker. So now we have 2 stacks of speed buffs, right? And then Nathalia's got a ton of buffs on her. And anytime Nathalia has 4 or more buffs, she deals 40% more damage. That is her passive. So the difference scaling between our heroes and the enemy heroes, the damage increases because our heroes are much faster now, and that works out really well. And you can see Marion Shadowblood taking multiple turns there. She doesn't always crit, so there is plenty of room for improvement. But this comp works really, really well. So now that I've mentioned about this comp and I've talked about Halia, why am I talking specifically about Halia and why am I showing off the comp with Halia? Well, the simplest answer to that is, number one, this is the best comp that I've gotten so far, and it works really well. And the second reason is Halia is coming in the advanced summons on December 5th. So save your shards. I wanted to let you know that Halia is going to be in the summon event on December 5th. She is going to be an extra chance to get. She's also, I believe she's also going to have not only a boosted summon chance to get, I think it's a 300 boosted % chance, if I remember correctly, but she will also be a pity summon as well. If you summon 4 legendaries without getting Halia, you will have 400% chance to summon her. So that is the way that I remember that. That is what's going on. The event might change slightly from now till then, but until the event comes up, you have plenty of time to save all your shards or to get more shards. So if you don't have Halia, the event is coming. Save your shards and you can build this comp. And that is going to be working out really, really nice. So you can still farm Witch of the Wind and you can still farm yourself the Assassin set, which is really, really good. Now, as you can see, she's causing us a little bit of trouble. She's at 1%. We needed to do a little bit more damage, and that's probably because Marion Shadowblood missed one of her crits. She's only at about 70% crit rate or something like that. But there it is. There's the team, and it's fairly easy to do, fairly quick. And I feel like this comp will work really, really well for you. So do me a favor, hit the like and the subscribe. Also, leave me a nice comment down below. Let me know what stage you are on and what team you're using. Let's start a conversation down below. And for more helpful videos like this, check out the top right.